Welcome back to Romance in the Wild. This is your girl, Charlie. Today we're going to do a paranormal romance. This is the latest from Kitty Vandegriff. This is the Aeternus, a Dark Triad. Hit it!
Grab yourself a book, turn the lights down low. It's time, everybody, for Romance in the Woe.
So this is the Aeternus by Kitty Vandegriff. It's a Dark Triad of paranormal romance. Now this, I got a sample copy from Kitty Vandegriff herself, because Kitty Vandegriff is actually my sister, so I'm probably promoting her. And you can purchase her book on Amazon, and it's a trilogy, so you can get all three books together in one paperback. You can also get it on Kindle. So this is a fated mate's story, and you have Brahm and Lucy, and they're in book 1 and 2, and then Tiamat and Kiyu is in book 3. So the whole premise of this is that, you have Brahm. He was worshipped on another planet. He comes to Earth because he has to find his fated mate, which is Lucy. Now, he only had like a small window of time to find her. And Lucy has to make the ultimate decision. And her decision will determine about humankind. What will happen? It's like the final cleansing. And if you're a fan of like mythology, legends, folklore, you're really going to be getting into this book. Because Kitty Vandegriff is great because she gets and dives into all of that. Like if you like ancient aliens, anything that's a little paranormal, even if it's like vampires. Because one thing Rom does is he does drink blood, he takes in the essence. On Earth, he has a select group of humans. It's kind of think of like a secret society, and like they kind of worship him, they give him whatever he wants. It's just waiting for Lucy to be born. Now, Lucy can be reborn because if she makes a decision, it's either going to be her and Brahm together, and which means if they're together, it's going to be the end of humankind as we know it, which is a huge decision for one person to make, especially that young, because when she turns 21, all this kind of happens. So Brahm is very much dedicated to Lucy, and his love for her is very deep. He's lived centuries and gone through lifetimes, but he's just waiting for her and waiting for her to make the ultimate decision. And her life is very short, so she has to make this great decision about this great love of her life. And it's really interesting the way Kitty does this. She has a great way like pulling in the reader, getting all the feelings, the emotions, and everything. So book 1 and book 2 are about, like I said, Brahm and Lucy and their relationship and what happens and her decisions. And her final decision goes into book 3, which is Tiamat Kiyu. The great thing about this is it's really all started with Tiamat, because Tiamat's father is considered like the god. Her father made humankind. He made all the humans. And at first, the humans pretty much supposed to be like servants to us. They're supposed to worship the gods. They're supposed to be like kind of like the slaves. They do the hard labor. But of course, eventually humans kind of go, I don't think we're going to do this. And there's a revolt. So like Tiamat's father, he likes the humans. He's very dedicated to them. He kind of thinks of them as his children. Tiamat, being his daughter, is infuriated. She's very much about her emotions as far as like anger and bitterness, and just she focuses on that so much that it blinds her, and people start whispering in her ear about your father's doing this and your father's doing that. She makes a horrible decision, which is how we get to book 1 and 2. Now Kiyu is a warrior, and he's devoted to Tiamat. He loves her. He thinks she's wonderful. And Kiyu has a way of seeing things as how they are. He's not blinded by his emotions. And book 3 is their story and how the book ends from what Lucy's decision goes on to Tiamat. Now, Tiamat has to make the final decision. This affects everyone. Now, you think she doesn't really care about humans, so it doesn't matter to her. But it's going to affect Kiyu. And this is the only person she really cares about in her life. He's everything to her. So this goes into paranormal. Like I said, it goes into folklore. It's really in depth. It's great. And the thing is like a novella. So you have like 3 of the novellas together. It's a trilogy. So you don't have to wait a month or 2 to read the next book. They're also together on Amazon. And like I said, this is the paperback version of it. And I got the sample copy for free. But you can go and get your own paperback because you're going to love this book. Or you can go to get it on Kindle. So I highly recommend The Aeternus, a Dark Triad by Kitty Vandegriff. Until next time, this is your girl, Charlie.